Good afternoon. Prosecutors in my office brought to my attention that Supervisor Todd Spitzer falsely impersonated an assistant district attorney while engaging in a political campaign. It's been my honor to serve the public for the last 42 years, and I can honestly tell you that being a prosecutor is the best job, period. We love our job because we're tasked with protecting public safety and victims' rights while doing justice in every case. That's why every person that I know of who was a member of the district attorney's office, when they leave, even criminal defense attorneys, judges, and others, list the time in the Orange County District Attorney's office as the top, one of their top accomplishments. They always put it on their resume. So we're calling on Mr. Spitzer to, one, formally apologize to the public and 300 prosecutors at the Orange County District Attorney's Office that proudly hold the title of Deputy or Assistant District Attorney. Two, promise that he'll never engage in a false personation of an Assistant District Attorney again. And three, make amends by contacting the same voters, correcting the false identification, and using his own funds. On May 26, 2016, Supervisor Spitzer falsely claimed to be an employee of the Orange County District Attorney's Office and proceeded to engage in political activity, asking the residents to vote in favor of a ballot measure by using this false identity. So the way these robocalls, this was a robocall, and the way these, or, well, you know what robocalls are. The way they work is that you write a script, you call a number, you record the message, you listen to the recording to make sure it's right, you re-record it as many times as you need to make sure that the message gets right, and then the calls get made to the whole universe of people that are being paid that the payer chooses to send it to. So I think we have the audio here.
Hello, this is County Supervisor Todd Spitzer. I have always played by the rules. As an assistant district attorney, I know that many politicians do not. We must have oversight of politicians in Orange County. So please join me and other good government advocates and vote yes on Measure A on your vote-by-mail ballot or at the voting booth itself on June 7th. Measure A will create a truly independent ethics commission, free of political influence and corruption. Remember, vote yes on Measure A.
I have always played by the rules. As an assistant district attorney, I know that many politicians do not. Stunning, isn't it? Not only does he falsely impersonate an assistant district attorney, he doesn't appear to follow the campaign laws either, the ones requiring that the paid telephone calls have to identify the candidate who paid for the paid for or authorized the call. That's according to FPPC regulations. Every member of this office, especially prosecutors, knows not to engage in any political activity in his or her official capacity. That rule's in place to make sure that any political position taken in their private capacity is not viewed as a position taken by the Orange County District Attorney's Office. We all hope that Mr. Spitzer does not insult any of you or the public's intelligence by trying to claim that this is some kind of a big misunderstanding. No one, especially Mr. Spitzer, a career politician since 1992, would make this mistake. Mr. Spitzer has not been a prosecutor here since 2010. In 2013, Mr. Spitzer badged his way up the San Bernardino Mountains during the serial killer manhunt for Dornan. Excuse me, Dorner. In his in that TV interview, he doesn't say that he was a reserve police officer with the city of Los Angeles. He just calls himself a police officer.
Now, Todd, you were telling me you were a police officer. How long ago was that? I was LAPD from 1990 to 2000.
If you've just joined us, I want to reintroduce Todd Spitzer. Tell us again who you are so people know who you are if they hadn't seen you.
Sure, I'm an Orange County supervisor. I'm a LAPD 10 years, 1990 to 2000. I was a member of the California State Legislature representing Orange County from 2002 to 2008.
Interestingly, in that particular interview, he doesn't mention that he was a former prosecutor for the Orange County District Attorney's Office. In another interview, he does say that he was a former prosecutor. That's in 2014. Can we play that?
You know, I wasn't in the private sector. I was a prosecutor in this county, and I was a member of the state legislature.
So he knows how to say that he was a prosecutor in the past, as opposed to representing himself to be one in the present. The irony of the unethical behavior of Mr. Spitzer engaging in false impersonation of an assistant district attorney to engage in political activity while promoting an ethics commission, that irony is not lost on anyone. There are many unanswered questions. Who came up with the idea? Who wrote the script? Were any county staff or equipment used? Were any county funds used for this political campaigning? Why didn't they comply with the paid-for requirement that the FPPC puts on? Who's he protecting from public disclosure, if anyone? Here's a letter that was delivered to County Council today. Do we have copies of that? Okay. I won't be discussing any possible investigations or complaints that might be being made to appropriate agencies. Also, I don't think that it's appropriate for me to discuss the merits of Measure A. I want to thank the media for helping to get out this message that Mr. Spitzer is not an assistant district attorney and that he is not speaking for the DA's office and that the Orange County District Attorney does not have a position, is not taking any official position on Measure A. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I wondered who told you about this robocall in the first place?
The question is who told me about this robocall, and well, I originally got complaints from members of the district attorney's office who received the robocall, actually in some different parts of the county.
So they lived in that district?
Pardon me?
They lived in that district?
Yes. Well, it wasn't necessarily from Mr. Spitzer's district. It was different parts of the county. And specifically, I'm sure one of them was not from his district. Yes.
Do you know any specifics on what cities they came from, or any additional cities that received the call?
Do we know of any additional cities? We don't have that information at this point.
Have you had experiences in the past with other past employees representing themselves this way? If so, how have you dealt with it?
Any other?
I mean, have you ever had in your career a former district attorney represent himself as a current employee? If so, how
Right. I got the second part. If so, how do we deal with them? I cannot remember anyone from the DA's office representing himself as a present deputy DA or assistant. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure as you've anticipated, some people will see this as a political attack on Todd Spitzer since he's planning on or rumored to be running for DA in the future. Do you think it's appropriate for you to be addressing this situation he's been in?
Question is, do I think it's appropriate for me to be addressing this since Mr. Spitzer might be running for district attorney in the future and he's stated that his desire to do that. I think it's required. I think that I need to make this public announcement. He made his announcement to many people. We don't know how many on this robocall, and it's important that that be straightened out. That the district attorney does not have a position on this. The DA's office does not have a position on Measure A, because that statement tends to indicate that we do. Yeah.
You said you called on him to do three things. Is that kind of where you're at this point? Is that something that you can't even charge somebody with? Or charge them with something in terms of impersonating something they're not?
I'm not at this point seeking to file any kind of criminal charges or ask anybody else to file criminal charges. What we need to do is to straighten out this misrepresentation, this false impersonation.
You called on him to do a couple of things. If he doesn't do that, or is that just kind of your challenge?
We're calling on him to do that. I think it's necessary for him to straighten that out, and it may well be more than just my challenge. There are FPPC regulations with respect to these matters.
Are you contacting them or have you?
I don't think it's appropriate to discuss that. Yes, ma'am.
Can I verify, so the third request that you have for him is to make amends by contacting the same people who received the calls to correct the situation?
Right. We think that he should make another robocall where he explains that he misrepresented and make that correction to all of those people. All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your, yes, sir.
Would we be allowed to continue
Yes.
shooting up the?
We'll give you guys.
Okay, good enough, thank you.
Great. All right. Wait a minute. There was one more question here.
One more question. Some might speculate or say that, just last week he was, he offered scathing criticism of you after the grand jury report and everything. And some might speculate, oh, this is just tit for tat back and forth. How would you respond to that? But you guys have been kind of going back and forth for a while now. This is another one, kind of upseeing. How would you respond?
So the question is this related to criticism that Todd Spitzer has done of me personally and well, particularly of me? No, it's not related to that. I mean, this is a separate issue, and I mean, Mr. Spitzer just did this robocall. Certainly nothing that we anticipated or anybody here anticipated, and it's a false representation and it needs to be cleared up. All right, thank you very much.